Hey everybody, welcome back to Toy Collecting Then and Now. Today we got another huge mail call, some comic books, some toys and stuff. But actually we're going to get to a little bit more toys today because, I don't know, we've been doing a lot more comics lately, but there's a lot more comic collectors than there are toy collectors. That's why there's so many comic shops, not so many toy stores these days. But we did get some toys today. We got the brand new Baby Yoda Bounty Collection Wave 3, so I'm going to show you those. Made a trip to Target too, and found some interesting stuff. A couple of things in the dollar bin. As you go into the Target stores, and there's always like those dollar items kind of towards the front, those quick little aisles right as soon as you get in the store. Found some interesting stuff in there. So I'll show you some of that first. First of all, I found a Batman hand sanitizer. I thought it was in one of the $3 spots, but it was only $1, so that was pretty sweet. Hooked this up to our diaper bag. And then my lady's niece, and actually her sister and husband and her niece are coming into town to stay with us for a month. So I got her niece this cool little zebra unicorn thing. So I thought that was pretty sweet. So that was in there. So I'm looking forward to giving her that. And then also I found this really cool Spiderman glider. And this was only $1 as well. So this is cool because it's got Spider-Gwen on there, Miles Morales, and Peter Parker, of course. And it looks like it's got a little tab on the front so you can get one of those little rubber band launchers. You can either, throw it or you can flick it out with a rubber band. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then also while we were at Target, I picked up this Looney Tune Lego. It's kind of the blind bags. So we're going to open that up before we go and see what's inside of that. But let's get to... Let's get to the Bounty Collection first. So we'll get to the Bounty Collection, show you the new Baby Yodas. So this is one of the new Bounty Collection, the little Baby Yoda. It looks like he's playing with a tablet of sorts. I'm not quite sure what scene that's from. I don't know, for whatever reason, I forget. Maybe he's sitting there playing with the Mando's, little computer system or something. I'm not quite sure, but that's Baby Yoda with a tablet. And then, of course, this one's really cute because it's a little Baby Yoda with the Mando helmet. So you get a little baby with the Mando helmet, so that's pretty cool. And then, of course, we got Baby Yoda sneaking in and eating the eggs. Poor little bad Baby Yoda sneaking in and eating all those little fish lady's eggs, or frog lady, whatever have you. But yeah, so that's pretty cute, of course. And of course, these are done in the cute little animated style. And then, I'm not sure if they ever show him drinking blue milk, but there's a little Baby Yoda with the blue milk, and he's got a little blue milk mustache. So that's pretty funny. And then, of course, little Baby Yoda meditating, little Grogu meditator. He's sitting on that little Jedi stone, kind of calling for whomever to come and rescue him. And then, lastly but not least, this was actually kind of one of the funnier scenes from that last season of Mandalorian, was when he was eating a little squid, and the squid kind of pops up and pops on his face. So that was super adorable to get. And of course, his ears back is always pretty cute. And I like the cute little animated style of this. I mean, there's a certain animation style of Baby Yoda that I don't like, but I like this animation style of Baby Yoda because they make him super cute. But moving on, I actually got a bunch of new comic books lately in the mail. I'm not going to go through all of it just because it's kind of extensive. But I've been slowly but surely putting together a Green Lantern set. So, like all the different, stuff from the 90s, kind of leading up to, because I have everything from the 2000s. So now I'm trying to put together the 90s. The whole Kyle Rayner run, so it's like the 80s through the 90s. There's, I don't know, it had to be going on for like 11, 12 years, that whole series, because I think the numbers end up in like 190 something. But yeah, so I picked up a ton of those. So I'll just show you this big stack here. Like this huge stack of the Kyle Rayner series. I mean, it's like, just a ton of them. It kind of goes on and on and on. Maybe I'll show you a couple of the highlights here. There's some of the more loose ones. That's his girlfriend Jade, and I guess she's supposed to be the daughter of Scott Allen, or Alan Scott. He's like the original Golden Age Green Lantern with the blonde hair and the purple cape and all that. And then this one I thought was kind of cool because it's got a kind of a different costume than I've seen before. Never seen that costume before, and there he is, kind of facing off with Superman. But that's Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. And then, some more, and some more, and some more, and some more. And then I got this series. Actually, it just popped up in my Google News feed, because I get like this weird Google News feed that shows like a bunch of weird comic book news and just people talking about old stories. And this one popped up in there for some reason. Somebody was talking about this. This is a Green Lantern and the Circle of Fire. And basically, it was a number 1 and a number 2. But yeah, here's the number 2. But essentially, the storyline goes in this. It's just basically like alternate reality Green Lanterns. So it's like Green Lanterns from the future, Green Lanterns from the past, and just a whole bunch of different timelines of Green Lantern pop up in this. And there's even a Green Lantern that's from the future that is essentially a descendant of both the Flash and the Green Lantern. I think maybe it's like Hal Jordan's grandchild meets the Flash's grandchild, and then they have a child, and that becomes this Green Lantern here. This girl here, it's like, looks like part Flash, part Green Lantern of sorts. So that's pretty interesting. I actually haven't even read this yet, but I definitely plan on getting into that and reading it. And there's all these different side stories. Of course, there's that one I just showed you. And then there's one with a different kind of future robot Green Lantern with Firestorm. And then Green Lantern with the Green Lantern. So it's Kyle Rayner with a different, maybe future Green Lantern. It's a whole different style of Green Lantern costume, that's for sure. And then like a medieval times Green Lantern with Power Girl. And then looks like another kind of future Green Lantern with the Atom. So yeah, definitely excited to get into that. And then I went to the comic store itself more recently. Oh yeah, I've also got, I showed you those ones in one of my last videos. But yeah, I just went to the comic store, picked up some new stuff. And this is Crime Syndicate. And I think this is an alternate reality DC story. So it's not like the actual DC main story. But this is an alternate reality John Stewart. And they're not called Green Lanterns, but they're called something else. I don't know, I read it. And of course, as I'm sitting here trying to talk about it, I forget what it is. I should have a board that has stuff written down so I could sit here and talk about it. But yeah, so alternate reality and John Stewart. And they're not called the Green Lanterns, but it's called something else. And this is Spider-Man's Spider Shadow number 2. And this is a what-if story of Spider-Man, basically. If he had kept the black costume and basically if Aunt May had gotten killed, he starts kind of going bad. So, Spider-Man actually goes and starts murdering, the basically evil bad guys that he, his regular foes. He just starts killing them. Instead of just defeating them and locking them in jail or whatever, he starts killing them, and it gets crazy. And, tears off their arms and stuff. And there's actually a thing that they talk about in, there is a storyline called Superior Spider-Man, where basically Dr. Octopus takes over Peter Parker's body, so somehow he switches their souls into their different bodies. And so Peter Parker is locked up in Dr. Octopus's body in jail, and Dr. Octopus has Spider-Man's body, and he's going around doing all this stuff. And there's a part where actually he goes to fight the Scorpion or something like that, and he punches him, and he basically breaks his jaw off. Which kind of goes to show that, Spider-Man, when he's fighting all these bad guys all the time, he's pulling his punches. So he's really not going with, his full strength when he's fighting these bad guys, because he doesn't want to, seriously hurt them, which is kind of crazy. And then this is Something That's Killing the Children. I have a newer crazy comic book that's going about. It's kind of got some heat on it right now, because, all the original comic books, they're only up to, number 14 or 15, but the original issues are worth, a ton of money already. For whatever reason, but that's because people say they're going to make a TV show out of it, kind of like Walking Dead. So people think that this is the new Walking Dead, because all those original Walking Dead comic books are worth a ton of money. And then I got this new Marauders issue just because it was kind of a cool picture of Emma Frost on there. I'm not quite sure what the storyline is going on here, but I guess they're supposed to be going to some sort of gala, so they're all getting all fancied up to go to that. And then I got the variant edition of that just because it was kind of cool looking. There's her in her diamond form, and kind of, red carpet style posing or whatever else. I'll probably sell that one. I got this one just because, I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool, and it was a number 1. It's Betty Page, Curse of the Banshee, but it's Betty Page Bunny Mask, number 1. So pick that up just to see what that's about. Might end up selling that. Got the new Black Cat variant edition. Of course, I've got the regular edition in here too. New Green Lantern number 3. This is the variant edition, but this has the Teen Lantern and then the new Green Lantern from the Far Sector comic book. And of course, I'm blanking on her name at this second, just because I haven't really read the whole storyline behind her yet. But these are some of the only 2 active Green Lanterns left, because there's this huge thing in the storyline happened that, basically the Green Lantern power battery blew up, and all the Green Lanterns lost their powers, except for these guys. But their powers are kind of separate from the whole main power battery, so that's why they still have their powers. And then I picked up Star Wars High Republic number 5. I haven't quite read number 3 or 4 yet, so I'm going to have to do that before I get into that. Of course, this was the new Black Cat number 6. We're kind of doing some cool art with her, and all her gold and glory and skull. Looks like, I don't know, something crazy with that. And then, of course, here's number 7. This is from the new Black Cat series. Of course, you know I love Black Cat. And then I picked this one up. This is supposed to be Captain Universe. No. Captain Marvel, like issue number 13 or 14, but it's a reprint. And they call it True Believers Carol Danvers #1 because this is the very first time you see Carol Danvers in a comic book. But which is funny is because in this comic book, she's only on like one page, and that's it. That's all you see of Carol Danvers, and that's, of course she's now Captain Marvel, and it's a big blown up thing. She's in the Marvel Universe, in the cinematic universe, and it's, Brie Larson plays her, and she's a huge character, but this is her first appearance, and she's only one page, so that's pretty funny that they put out a comic book for that. And of course, this is the regular edition of the new Green Lantern series, and actually towards the end of this, you find out and realize that Hal Jordan is still alive and kicking, because at the very end of this comic book, you see him kind of like chilling. But of course, his ring is separate from the whole rest of the Green Lanterns because his lantern ring is like made separate, and it's like basically he's made of willpower himself. So it's like his ring is like more a part of him than any other Green Lantern's ring out there. All right, so now that we've gone through all that, let's get to the mail call. I'm super excited to see some of this stuff because, this is a good mix match of a whole bunch of different stuff. This isn't all just Green Lantern stuff anymore. Of course, there's going to be a couple Green Lantern things in here, but I got some other cool stuff too. Just, kind of going on a tangent and finding, cheap stuff and stuff that I like and stuff that's kind of related to stuff you've seen before, of course, because I don't go too far from the characters that I like. But, yeah, let's get into this, and I'll kind of explain more as we get there. Let's see, what's first? That one's rubber banded. Don't see that too often. Alright, well, of course, as I'm just saying, it's not all Green Lantern. There's a couple Green Lanterns in there. Of course, this is kind of towards the beginning of that whole 80s and 90s run that I've been trying to put together, and I didn't have these. This is Green Lantern #9. And what's the year? It even says the years on it. Yeah, 1991. This is Green Lantern #9, 1991. It's, of course, Guy Gardner and Gnort on there. So, part of that. And then here's #6. It's got, this is all before Kyle Rayner. So this is the main 3 Earth Green Lanterns at the time. Hal Jordan and John Stewart and Guy Gardner. So yeah, #6. And then I picked this up just because I have #1. And I wanted #2. Just because it would be kind of cool to have this whole set. And I love these characters. It's Cloak and Dagger and Doctor Strange and Strange Tales #2. And I love Cloak and Dagger. Doctor Strange is okay, but I like it better when he's with other characters. So, of course, Cloak and Dagger are some of my favorite Marvel characters. I don't know, I just kind of like, of course, how Dagger looks. She's kind of like a black hat but in a white costume. But I like how they kind of offset each other, because Cloak is all about the darkness and Dagger is all about the light. And, basically they can't survive without each other. And they can teleport because of Cloak. That's one of his powers, is that he can teleport. And plus, inside of him, he carries around this basically, like a separate reality almost, where he can store people in like a prison, like it's a void in space that basically lives inside of his cloak that he kind of carries around, I guess, with him all the time. And then this one I picked up just because I thought it was cool. It's the Fantastic Four versus the new Fantastic Four, which is, I don't know, I've showed you before, maybe I haven't, but there was this different series, well, not different series, but in the Fantastic Four, there was a couple of issues where basically Spiderman, the Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Wolverine all team up to go help rescue the Fantastic Four because they disappeared. But this is also a notable issue because this is the first time you see Invisible Woman in this costume, where they're trying to make her super sexy. And yeah, and there was just kind of a funny Google ad about that I read about. The time that they tried to make Invisible Woman super sexy or whatever else. But yeah, this is the first time you see her in that costume on a cover. And it's also cool because it's got these guys in it. And eventually I'm going to go through that storyline where basically I'm going to go through that and break down that comic book set. There's 2 comics in that quick run there where it's Spider-Man and Ghost Rider and all that. Basically have to go rescue the real Fantastic Four. But then I'll go through that after that just to kind of tie it in together. Alrighty, let's move on to this. Let's just get the not so exciting stuff out of the way first. And there is some toys in here too. So watch out for that. Wait for that. Let's get it over here. Let's get it into here. Yep, more Green Lantern. I know. These were... this is a set that I didn't have, and it's basically Green Lantern Corpse Recharge. So this Recharge was just kind of a quick story, a 5 comic set. I won't go through the whole thing. just because, you know, we're probably getting a little burned out on Green Lantern stuff. But yeah, this is the whole set of 5 comic books, and I think I only had one of them. So now I could sell that one, keep these ones, and I'll have the whole series of that. I don't have to worry about that later. Alright, move on to the next. What do we got here? I love these shippers, as you know, because these are awesome. Let's see. Looks like that is some cool cardboarding in here with some doggy things. Let's try to cut into here without cutting into these comic books, because that would be bad. Alright, so this is, oh yeah, speaking of what we were just talking about, the whole cloak and dagger thing, I got this set because this, I think, was the very first Cloak and Dagger series that ever came out, and it was just a quick 4-issue run, and so I picked up the whole set of it just for super cheap. I don't know, I think I got the books for like $1 or $2 each, which is the way to do it when you're collecting comic books. But let's open these up so I can show you. Where are they connected? Oh, they're just kind of connected like this. Alright, so Cloak and Dagger, #1 in the 4-issue limited series. So, and I like to get these with the comic store little labels, because, you know, sometimes right here there's a barcode, but I like it better when there's, like, you know, the character, like it's usually Spiderman's head on the Marvel comic books. And I don't like the barcode, but I do like getting them like this. And then here's issue #3, Cloak and Dagger, and then issue #4. You know, I never knew about this series. I don't know, I had issue #1 from the, there's like a set, it's like #1 through 11, or 12, or 13, I forget, but I used to have the #1 of that, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe I sold it at some certain point, but I'll probably end up getting that set again if I can find it for cheap, you know. So I like to try to find things for like $1 each, and buy the whole set. You know, a lot of things like that, you know, that set nobody really cares about, so you can find it on there for pretty cheap because nobody's trying to buy it. So always kind of look out for that. You know, if somebody has been sitting on it forever, like they've had it on eBay for like years and nobody's bought it. So then they're finally like, just screw it and just put it on there for cheap, and hopefully somebody like me will come along and find it and buy it. Alright, so this one is, let's see what this one is. This one is taped up quite well, that's what it is. Alright, oh yeah. Now Daredevil, I've showed you that Bullseye action figure I got, but I have never showed you my Daredevil comic books that have Bullseye in it. Really, I'm not a huge Daredevil fan, but I do like Daredevil when Bullseye's in it. And so I have a couple old issues of Bullseye, but I didn't have these old issues of Daredevil with Bullseye. So this is issue #141. And this is kind of, I think, maybe the second appearance of Bullseye, so he still looks super old school. And then we got issue number, let's go in kind of order. Issue #146. It's another super old version of Bullseye. So this might be the third appearance. I might be wrong, but I'll have to kind of look further into that to see. And then I got issue #60. There's Bullseye with the Black Widow. It's kind of cool. Love Bullseye. And then #161 with, of course, Bullseye again, kicking Daredevil down with the, I guess it looks like they're on a roller coaster. Daredevil's trying to save the Black Widow down there, but Bullseye's preventing him, and the roller coaster's going to get the Black Widow. I guess we'll have to see what happens there. Alright, moving on. Now this one seems kind of light, and I think this is only supposed to be one comic book, and this guy put it in this big, huge box. But apparently he doesn't have those cool comic book shippers like we have been seeing. Ugh. But this one kind of ties into those last ones I showed you. Yep, this one is overpacked, but I guess I won't complain too much. I'm sure I didn't pay that much for shipping. Ugh, this one really is packed up. Get into this thing. Okay, really pack this tight. Ooh. Sometimes it's kind of annoying when they kind of overdo it, but you know, as long as I guess it gets here in good condition, we can't complain too much. Oh no, this isn't what I was thinking it was. This is actually something I had been waiting for like a couple of weeks, and I was kind of wondering why the guy hadn't shipped it to me yet. but this was a May the 4th exclusive, Naughty and Nice Cosplay Gallery Volume 2, May the 4th edition. And this is drawn by Mike DeBalfo. And as you've heard in some of my other videos, I love the artist Mike DeBalfo. It's super cool. And this kind of almost looks like Buffy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is kind of cool. But super sexy Jedi chick. Looks like on Tatooine at Luke's home. That's pretty cool drawing, actually. So I'm kind of anxious to open this up and see what other kind of art stuff is inside. But yeah, it's pretty cool. This is the nice edition. I guess there's a naughty version, but I didn't get that one. Didn't need it. I thought that was a cool picture, and it was around May the 4th time, so I ordered it. All right. And lastly but not leastly, now this one is some stuff I got from a guy on Facebook. Because I have some really cool comic book buy and sell pages on Facebook now. But this guy also had a cool toy that I'll show you after I show you the comic books. So toy down for a second. And we'll get to these comic books. Looks like he packed them pretty well. And yeah, he kind of hits me up on Facebook, kind of trying to get me to look at some of his other listings. But I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to spend a ton right now. Let's see. Alright, so he had some really cool stuff for really cheap, like I think it was like $1 or $2 each, so I couldn't pass it up. Oh, and it looks like he gave me a free one. Maybe he gave me a free couple of them. We'll see. Yeah, so looks like this is Sixus Carnage. So I think I did ask for this one. I didn't really get a good close-up of that picture, but it's pretty cool though. Pretty random Carnage kind of art that I've never seen before, so that's pretty interesting. But I did know what this one was. This free comic book day Spider-Man with Carnage on there. I'm not quite sure if this is gonna lead into not Maximum Carnage, but there's I forget what the name of that Carnage series right now, but I guess this kind of leads into the new Venom series. That's what it says on top. But yeah, so basically, Venom has to go and battle Carnage and all that, and so on and so forth. And then, here's a free one he stuck in there. Looks like Detective Comics Annual number 3 from 1990. I've never been too crazy into Batman unless he's wearing a Green Lantern ring, but that's interesting, so I'll have to check that out. And then Spider-Man 2099, I think this is the second series, number 12, but I did get this because it's got a cool Venom 2099 there on it, as you can see. And this is really cool art on the cover. Almost kind of reminds me of Clayton Crane, but I'm not quite sure. I don't see a signature from an artist on that one. That's pretty cool looking issue though. Sorry about that. And then he had Venom the Protector number 2 for $2 or $3 or whatever it was. So I picked that up just because it's kind of a hot comic book right now. And the version I had of this was a little beat up. And then got Venom Knights of Vengeance number 2. Basically I said, I'll just take all your Venom stuff, whatever you got that's Venom, because it was, selling stuff pretty cheap, so I picked it up. And then this was Venom number 14, War of the Realms. But this is kind of cool because it's kind of a weird, looking like an alternate reality Venom guy of sorts. Looks like a knight almost. But I didn't have Venom number 14 from this newer series because I think this is from the newer series. Maybe not. Maybe this is from the other series. But so it's a second printing. I guess that's why it was cheap. But it's kind of cool because it's kind of a different new cover. And, as they're doing second printings these days, they have different covers on them, so they're not quite worthless as they used to be. And then I got, Venom number 25. It's the Donny Cates series. I thought that was pretty cool. It's got a pretty cool cover on it, so I got that. Yeah, that's sitting there for sale. And then another freebie, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6. And it looks like Spider-Man in the Iron Spider suit, so that's pretty cool. All right, but I guess that's all I've got for now, but if you like my content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk soon. Oh, yeah, wait. That's right. I got the new Venom shirt where we're at Target as well. Oh, yeah. And, we did forget something. We forgot to open up the Looney Tunes. Let's check this thing out before we go. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll have to rewind and take out the, make sure to like and subscribe. All right, let's just stop. And then... Oh yeah, and before we go, let's open up the Looney Tunes Lego. Let's see what we got in here, because looks like there's some cool ones. And I was kind of hoping for Wile E. Coyote. I kind of felt it, but I was kind of suspecting that it might not be Wile E. Coyote because I did feel some ears, and it's Bugs Bunny, which I'm not too upset about because I've always kind of liked Bugs Bunny. It's kind of a cool character, and it's kind of cool to have a Lego of him. I do have some random Lego guys sitting around here and there, so one of these days I'll have to get around to showing you that. Definitely have some Mandalorian Legos, like some bootleg stuff, like a bootleg Predator Lego and a bootleg Alien Lego, and some other bootleg Star Wars Legos. But it's kind of cool to just get different random characters sometimes. Like I bought a Ninja Turtle Lego set that was just like $5 or $10 once just to get a Lego Ninja Turtle figure. Let's put together this Bugs Bunny Lego. And of course he comes with his carrot. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, Jack? Alrighty, so as we put him together, there he is. The Bugs Bunny Lego. There's Bugs Bunny in all his Lego glory. Alright, well, yeah, well, make sure if you to subscribe if you like my content, and I'll talk to you guys soon.